Surveillance and Reconnaissance Squadron, SRS as they're known, primarily made up of Royal Marines from 30 Commando Information Exploitation Group, dubbed the eyes and ears of the UK Commando Force.
So we're the Advanced Force of Brigade. We work directly to the brigade commander, generally operating in the deep battle space up to 90 days ahead of the main commando force. As an early theatre entry force and an advanced force, we're there to understand the situation as best we can to enable the strike teams to give them a broader picture of what theatre they might be entering into.
That's the focus, gathering information on the enemy and the topography, so larger amphibious forces can follow or groups of lethal Royal Marine strike teams can carry out their missions. In this training exercise in Norway, SRS begin with a beach landing and practice what's called break contact drills, which is what to do if you come under enemy fire.
Actually going from the boats onto the land can be quite difficult, or there's lots of factors that could go wrong, especially when you're working with the water. So we wanted to go through that. This scenario is they were heading inland, had about a 10k insertion to go to a radar station, part of a air defence screen, and they were then looking to find out opportunities and weaknesses on that target. However, obviously before they got there, they were contacted and then they had to break contact back to the boats.
It's not the role of SRS to be drawn out in long firefights, but they could come under attack. Here they're practicing getting back to the boats and out of the area as quickly as possible. One of the squadron's many strengths is being as discreet as possible, which means often travelling long distances behind enemy lines. Those journeys could be by a mix of small boats, over snow reconnaissance vehicles or skidoos. They can also use skis, helicopters and parachute in too.
But we also hold the vertical assault capability as well, whether that be access up ice, waterfalls, or more conventionally up cliffs and terrain generally that people can't access. Why do we do that? It's because it gives us an opportunity to approach from avenues that people aren't expecting, maintaining the element of surprise, which is incredibly important for us as we operate ahead of conventional or generally accepted support timelines. We tend to focus in the high north, but our skill sets are globally employed.
When skidoos are used for reconnaissance tasking, at some point they have to be hidden. So they're dug into the snow, covered in white camouflage, and this is known as a garage. It means the teams can then move on to their skis, move closer to the target, which increases the chance of them remaining undetected. They have to excel at all methods of tactical insertions, which is why this training is key.
The skills that we need the guys to be proficient in take time, and we're looking for a particular person in the squadron that's willing to be able or can assimilate that information, hold that information across a broad range of skill sets, be robust enough, be professional enough and be disciplined enough to work in a small man team, and to be able to judge which tool is the most appropriate tool for that target.
And in the high north, commandos are pushed to their limits as they operate in Arctic conditions.
What the weather provides us, not only does it provide us a environmental training, it also provides consequential decision making for the teams on the ground. If you don't do the correct thing at the correct time, there are real life consequences to your performance ability, whether that, let's say you're not wearing the correct equipment that you should be in that time, you're at risk of frostbite or frostnip, or in worst cases hypothermia. And the reason why we like to train out here, and the emphasis is on the individual teams, because if they don't make those decisions, they become combat ineffective.
Surveillance and Reconnaissance Squadron work and survive pretty much in isolation, and whatever the terrain and whatever the target, Because they operate as covertly as possible, you may not know they've done their job, but it's indispensable. Bryony Williams, Forces News, Norway. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.